Hello, Belinda Woolrich here and welcome. Thank you for attending this online workshop wherever you are and whatever time it is in the world. It is great to have you here online and we appreciate your time and effort to be on board. Our best wishes to you, your family and community and friends. A bit more about me. I'm Belinda Woolrich. I'm a downsizing expert after project managing hundreds of downsizers and helping people through this transformation over the last decade. I'm also an author of the book Rightsize Your Home, The Empty Nester's Guide to a Stress-Free Downsize. I am also the Director of Learning at rightsizeyourhome.com.au, where I have written and designed several courses to help people in their downsize and get in control of this journey. All the formalities aside, I want to introduce you to our very special guest, Chad Cohen. He's a Managing Director of FortemMedia. Hopefully I pronounced that right, Chad. And are you able to tell us a little bit about your agency, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess I run a digital content creation agency that basically focuses on creating outstanding photo and video for our clients to help them tell their stories. So whether that be real estate agents trying to showcase homes or sportswear brands trying to display new clothing in their clothing lines, we do it all. And our focus is really on giving our clients the best opportunity to showcase their product or their service in a light that really helps them drive impact.
Oh, fantastic. And that's what we're all about. It's about, especially with these open homes, is giving us the best opportunity to showcase our homes. That's great. Thank you very much for your time, Chad, and coming on board with us today. So today, what will we cover? So there's 5 major headings. Number 1, why do some people not like open homes? That's a really interesting one. Why do we do open homes? Part 3 is how do we do open homes in the virtual world? So that's really interesting. Things have really changed in real estate. And what results can we achieve from virtual opens? Number 5, we're going to wrap up, Chad, with your top tips for successful virtual opens and any further questions. So why do some people not like open homes? I'll jump in a little bit there because we've both got something to share on this, Chad. But from my experience, definitely people do engage us in helping with their projects because it is very time consuming. The other part of it I've found is that people don't like nosy parkers. They don't particularly want their neighbours coming in and checking out their place. And it is quite a lot of hard work and quite invasive. And how about from your point of view, Chad? How do you feel about that?
Look, I think from our side, especially due to the current times, what we've seen is there has been a shift and people are feeling less comfortable about open homes, as well as the reasons that you've given. One of the things that we found is also that if you are having an open home, there's almost an obligation that your house is in tip-top shape for an extended period of time.
Yes.
And if you're still trying to live in that could be additional stress. Yes, that was probably the biggest thing from our side, is the ability to go, okay, well, this is quite stressful, and understand that. And people are slowly shifting to try and find ways to move from the traditional open home.
And aren't we, again, lucky in this time and age? So most of our people listening today would have probably sold their home or bought the home 10, 20, 30, 40, or even 50 years ago. Nothing like this ever existed. So quite a shift. Yeah, I think that's terrific. So it's just an additional opportunity to showcase again so well. So Chad, why do we do open homes?
So I think the big for open homes is to give people the opportunity to understand and feel what a property would feel like to live in. So the vendor or the seller, the opportunity to showcase their home, obviously with the goal of selling the property or leasing the property out. In most cases, it's selling. And as well as for the buyer to actually come into the property and go, okay, this is what property is. I like this. I don't like this. I might want to change this if I was to purchase it. But often an investment like a property is a really big decision. So people like to go in and see what it's like. However, as I said before, things are kind of shifting and more people are finding ways to give that feeling in other ways that may be less intrusive.
Which is exactly what you do. So relying on your expertise, sorry, that's a tricky word today for me, you are bringing in that feeling into the video. So,
Correct. So
hmm.
exactly what I was going to say. So basically, the things where I mentioned earlier in our introduction that we're about telling the stories and bringing out that mood and feeling around brands and what and the people that we work with. It's exactly that in the content that we create for these homes. The focus is on really bringing out that feeling of what it feels like to walk through the home and actually be there. And what we're seeing is agents are using these videos to showcase to people before they step into people's homes.
Mm. So you're really giving another level of opportunity for a seller. I guess one is that if they don't particularly want to do open homes, you're giving that extra opportunity that's never really been around before and not as widely used as it is now. And you've also given people a lot more opportunity through this whole COVID experience, because things definitely changed. What have your sort of numbers and take up been like with videos and real estate agents through the COVID experience as opposed to before?
So I think in terms of what we've been seeing during these times, it's been quite a fascinating shift. We've actually had an increased amount of videos that real estate agents have required from us, mainly due to the fact that people haven't felt comfortable having other people in their homes and still know that they want to sell the home, because once that decision has been made, although it might be a tough decision to actually let go of something that you've had for such a long time, and it is quite hard and time consuming to do, that's why people like yourself can help out. But the interesting thing is when the real estate agents that have been coming onto us for videos these days have basically been saying, hey, there's a real need for what you guys do right now, because people are finding it really hard to give people that feeling of what it feels like to be in the home without a really extravagant, nice, clean video that takes you on a walkthrough through all the features of the house.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, aren't the sellers lucky? So now we've got those additional opportunities. We've got someone with your sort of depth of expertise who can really delve into that feeling side and give that, as opposed to photos, for example. And we've also got the opportunity of where sellers, especially in our demographic, may not even want to do the open home at all. So how do they do it? How do we actually physically do this? What's the process in the virtual world?
So there's quite a few different technologies at the moment that are out there in terms of you've got your basic level, and most, I would say, if not all agents at the moment doing your standard photos and floor plans. That's been around for quite some time.
Yes.
Photos do give someone the ability to kind of see what's going on within the house and within the home. However, that additional thing, and as times are changing, more and more people are moving to video, and people are doing 360 virtual tours, and kind of giving people that more clear idea of what actually is going on in the house, not just a still photo. Because, you know, they say a picture says 1,000 words, but if a picture says 1,000 word, videos say millions. Because
yes.
It gives you, in the same time that you would look at a photo, in the same time you look at the video, but the video is giving you so much more depth around what's actually going on. 360 walkthroughs is also something that's become quite prevalent recently during the COVID times. I guess with our agency personally, we think the 360 tours are good because it allows someone to step-by-step walk through the house and almost go through the home in like a 3D kind of realm. However, we really do believe that videos are getting higher shareability and engagement, which means that if you're looking to push your content out to as many people as possible, and this is one of the big shifts with the virtual world, is that in the past where you might have had to have 30 people in your house for an hour on a Saturday, now you can have 3,000 people viewing your home from anywhere in the country at any time. So the amount of people that can see your home without actually into your home has exponentially grown through the shift in technology.
Indeed. And also, if people were not showing every room, you would think, what might be wrong with that property? So if there was only 4 or 6 photos, for example, why isn't that second and third bathroom on there, for example?
Correct.
So at least this actually shows the full scope of the property as well. So we if we have a property we want to hire you, Chad, tell me the process from when you start, how long it takes, how does it all work?
So usually if you have a property and you'd like to showcase all the features about it, so obviously we have a few different options. You've got your 360 tours, you got your floor plans, you got your photos and your videos. And we basically discuss what might be best in your specific case to showcase whatever the property is. So it's as simple as getting in touch with us, whether it be via our website, on the phone, through yourself, whoever it might be, and just saying, hey, look, we're looking to sell our property. We need a video to be made. This often comes from the agent, but can sometimes come from the person selling the house that then recommends us to the agent. And once we've done that, usually what we'll do is we'll have a short phone to understand a little bit more about what you're trying to do, what you're selling, what the goals are, etc. And from there, we will then set a date to do the filming. It usually takes a maximum of 2 hours, usually an hour, to get all the filming and photos done. And once those are done, we set a maximum time of 48 hours on turnaround to get everything ready and looking at our clients, and then it's ready to go. It can be uploaded onto the web, it can be thrown onto socials, whatever it might be. But the goal with everything that we create is for it to be extremely shareable and enticing, so that it really showcases your property in the best light.
Fantastic. So there's definitely an option for a right sizer there, thinking if they don't want every Saturday and every Wednesday, for example, for a number of weeks, they can use this video for, obviously there's time to get the property prepared, which we would help you with. And definitely I would like the right sizers to have a read of that section in my book about how to get the property ready for presentation. Then when it is prepared, just an hour or two with you in the home, and then that can take care of all those open homes for a while. So the agent would then, once you're obviously prepared, video's done, you've got the turnaround time, it's shared on the World Wide Web, then it would be up to the agent. If you weren't having those physical open homes, the agent would then be calling people, interviewing them, finding out their needs, and you'd get a clear understanding of only one or two or very few people then coming into the property to actually inspect at their individual times.
Correct.
Hi there, Belinda Woolrich here, downsizing expert, author, and also director of learning at rightsizeyourhome.com.au. I wanted to share with you the fantastic online courses that we have. Here at Rightsize Your Home, we have 3 available courses. The first one, starting with shifting your mindset. It's understanding the right time to moving roadblocks and also how to be ready for your downsize. The next course is the Declutter Challenge. This is all about planning and getting stuck into your family home declutter. And then the last of the 3 is part 3, adding value to your family home. So this is all about profiting and getting the best sale price and also the most efficient process. I hope you love the courses as much as me. Give it a go. What are you waiting for? You'll find them and much more at www.rightsizeyourhome.com.au. So what results can we achieve with the virtual opens? What are your thoughts there, Chad?
Look, I think I've touched upon quite a lot of this already, but the biggest thing that we've seen with these virtual opens is the ability to showcase your property to a lot more people in a shorter period of time without them coming into your home. And what that does is it makes the people that are actually checking out your home via social media, via online, via all the real estate portals, it gives them the opportunity to make somewhat of a decision before stepping in, which means that if they've watched the video and photo content or floor plans and virtual tours online, what that allows them to do is make more of a decision than if they were to just show up at the house or the home on a Wednesday or a Saturday, as you say, which means that for agents, it's giving agents much more qualified leads. And then there's less people that are actually having to come to the homes because the agents are able to have a lot of the conversation just based on what people can see. And then it's just for that final touch and approval to make the big decision.
Excellent. So again, giving those sellers choice. So well qualified leads as a result of these videos, less time with masses of people in your house, giving that additional flow and connectivity. People can then re-watch, of course. And you know that if a family wants to go and buy a family home, they would get auntie, uncle, grandmother, everyone to come in and have a look, whereas there's a lot more ability to share and make the decision and
Correct.
get views of a more thorough video of the property. All right, so wrapping up to the last slide now for these topics. So your top tips.
So I think number one, as we've got here, is photos and videos of the new expectation. No longer can you get by just putting photos on a property. People almost expect the ability to see the property before they arrive. It also puts them in more of a buying mood when they do arrive, because as I said, they've made somewhat of a decision before they come that they're actually more interested than not to be there and make that decision. So that's one of the things. So I'd say that it's almost essential to ensure that if you are using an agent or you guys are helping out with the sale of a property, that photos and videos should accompany the listing. When you're exploring this idea of the virtual world and content, it's essential to think, okay, I've lived here for quite some time. What are my favorite things about this property, and how can I share that with other people that through this virtual world? Often we used to see, and this is still happening, it's not to say that open homes aren't, because they definitely are, but often we saw when open homes were happening, it was very hard because it was so busy. The owners most of the time aren't there because they don't want to be around when there's so many people in their house. Some people choose to be, some don't, but the reality is you can't showcase what you love about the home if you're not there, right? And what this virtual world's allowing us to do is you can say to your video team and your photo team, hey, you know, we've loved our times in the garden where we've sat around the fire and had an amazing time. You can actually showcase these things in the video and give that emotion. And it's really important that you pull out those key things that you've enjoyed, because that'll help the process happen much quicker. More often than not, we're working with some agents who are selling properties really just through social media. So open homes are hardly happening. And yes, they have, like with some agents, they're happening a lot, but some agents are really shifting and pushing the boundaries in terms of the ability to sell through socials and without open homes. So they're literally doing video walkthroughs to showcase the home, whether it be live, so it's just the agent walking through the home, or actually professionally done by someone like ourselves. So it really does help to give people that extra opportunity to showcase what is being seen in the home from the owner's perspective. And then the ability to spend, often the content or the vendor paid advertising, what it's known as, is something that the vendors, the sellers, often are hesitant to do. Now more than ever, we believe that it's essential to spend good money on the marketing of these properties with the agent or the content creators or whatever it be, to ensure that your property out there in the best light. So I'm sure obviously, Belinda, there's certain things that you recommend people spend money on when setting up their property and everything. But now more than ever, from our perspective, it's essential to spend money on the marketing and the content that gets put out there, because as you can imagine, in the past where you might have had to spend $100 to get one person through your home through a newspaper ad, now you can spend $10 and you've got thousands of people seeing it on social media in your area. So it's a lot cheaper to do, and the impact, we believe, is a lot greater.
Yeah, I would absolutely second all of those points. That's terrific. When you talk about point 2 there about finding favorite parts of your home, it's actually in my book too. It's one of the questions that I always ask my clients when I'm doing my advisory services is, what made you fall in love with the home? So it may have been a beautiful outlook from the master bedroom, or sitting in the garden, as you said, or the fact that they've got a great open plan living, dining, kitchen. Whatever that is, it's highly likely that 30 years prior, when you bought the home, winding on forward 30 years, it's probably likely that the next person is going to love that too. So definitely worth asking that question. And I think with this technology and your expertise in ensuring that feeling comes into the video of being in the house, if you don't want opens, now vendors do have a choice, which wasn't as well known before. So that's terrific. And even through non-traditional sale techniques, so maybe not with an agent, but through a website that may connect sellers and buyers as well. So your service is applicable in all types of sales, which is terrific. And of course, yes, I second the spending money to invest in to reap reward. So I always talk in my book about whatever dollar goes in, you've got to expect double that back. And video, great content like that is going to be doing that as well. So whether it be presenting the property well, furniture hire, whatever it might be, there are all techniques to ensuring you double your money back and you get that investment return. In talking about that, moving along for the next webinars, we've got some very interesting interviews coming up. So one being about furniture hire, how does that all happen? Another being about what if I don't want to use a real estate agent? What are the choices with website sales as well? So again, opening up options for vendors. And the very next one we have is if you want to right size, but how do you find your new home? So I'm looking forward to interviewing Rich Harvey about that. All right, a couple of learning opportunities for you to upgrade and find out more about what we have to offer. You can, of course, buy the ebook, which is $9.99. The Rightsize Your Home, the Empty Nester's Guide to a Stress-Free Downsize. It's a much deeper dive of this, getting your right size right. And I'm sure you will enjoy reading about that. Also, our online courses, I recommend that you start with the first course. It's $49. Rightsize Your Home, course number 1, Shifting Your Mindset. So head to rightsizeyourhome.com.au and follow the training courses and select the one that you're after there. And I hope you love it as much as I did writing it. Here are the upcoming workshops again. How do I find my new home? So speaking to a buyer's agent who has special insight. If it's not on realestate.com, they can find it. How can I afford to right size is another one. So my friend and colleague Jenny Simmons will be talking to her about what are the implications of financially planning for that, and of course furniture hire, how does that all happen? Stay tuned for further webinars and podcasts. It's been fantastic having you, and I'd just like to leave you with these words and thank you. Once you believe in yourself, understand you're doing the right thing, this right sizing project becomes purely a logistical process. Chad, thank you again for coming and sharing your expertise. Look forward to working with you further. See you next time.
No problem. Thank you for having me. Great day.
If you would like to contact Chad and you'd like to find out more about this virtual video service, please feel free to give me a call or email. We can answer some questions and put you in touch. Belinda Woolrich makes no representation and gives no warranty as to the accuracy of the information and does not accept any responsibility for any errors or inaccuracies in or omissions from the information contained herein, whether negligent or otherwise, and shall not be liable for any loss or damage howsoever arising as a result of any person acting or refraining from acting in reliance on any information contained herein. No listener or workshop attendee shall rely solely on the information contained in this, as it does not purport to be comprehensive to render specific advice. This disclaimer does not purport to exclude any warranties implied by law which may not be lawfully excluded. This workshop, which includes any resources supplied, is only for the use of the intended recipients and is confidential and/or privileged. Belinda Woolrich shall not be liable for any errors, omissions, viruses, loss and/or damage arising from using, opening or transmitting this workshop.